All right, so let's continue into the whole payment processing fiasco. And this is a video by Penguins Zero, aka Moist Critical, aka Charlie. Let's go. The man probably even more monotone than myself.
If I asked you to give me your ID to watch this video, provide some form of identification, what would you tell me?
I would say screw you, buddy.
I hope your answer would be a resounding no, telling me to go eat dirt. Because
That too.
that's not just like some kind of innocent, annoying question. That's legitimately just an assault on your freedom. It's an extremely scary and concerning direction the online space is heading. No longer is this just the wacky, wild west of the World Wide Web, where Timmy Turner once surfed on an email and Fairly Odd Parents.
I remember that. I used to watch Fairly Odd Parents quite a bit.
Now, it is actively being censored. We're seeing that happen a lot. Censorship is spiraling.
Can I just say as well, I'm jealous of his hair. He has really good hair. Can't relate.
Especially in video games, with Collective Shout getting Steam and itch.io, two separate platforms to remove hundreds and hundreds of games that they deemed highly harmful and, deplorable. So they had the Visa and MasterCard come forward, threaten to pull out of them and bully them into submission. They got them in the fucking headlock. So then they just went belly up and played ball, removing all of these titles, which, by the way, was not just freaky gooner games. In itch.io's case, people have learned over the last few days, tons and tons of games have been de-indexed that didn't have any porn in them at all.
And that was always the plan. Start with the objectionable stuff, then just remove things that you personally don't like.
So it wasn't just like rape and incest weirdo games.
They removed mouthwashing and I believe Fear and Hunger, which Fear and Hunger was a game I was interested in because I heard people recommend it.
It was any game or mini games included that are just darker themes that have more like adult themes in them with no like sexual content. It's absurd and it's something everyone could have seen coming. Anyone with a functioning frontal lobe could tell you that censorship is not something to be celebrated. When you try and target low-hanging fruit, something easy like gross, disgusting porn games that are all about like incest and shit, you'll get.
You know what's funny too is they can't even go and say, well, like, oh, well, we can't have incest games. We can't have R-word games. That's bad. What if children play them? But yet, there are books with those themes. There are movies with those themes. And Game of Thrones was popular for how long? And no one batted an eye at that. But oh, if it's in a video game, a fictional video game, oh, someone please think of the children.
A lot of clapping seals like, yippee, you saved us. But what they don't realize is it doesn't stop there. That is just the beginning. That just.
Yes, that's their foot in the door. That's their foot in the door. So that way they can go for the things that they actually want to take down, that actually bother them by saying, whoa, we're against this objectionable stuff. Aren't you? Don't you think this is gross?
Opens the door. So that way they can censor even more. It is absurd and out of control, but I'm going off on a tangent. The point is, the internet is under attack in a large way across the board, not just in gaming. I'm sure all of you have seen what's happening in the UK right now with their Online Safety Act, where now to access a myriad of content, you need to provide your identification.
Which is ridiculous. I did have to provide an ID and a freaking face scan for PayPal, which I hate and is annoying, but I get it because that's tied to money and tied to banking. So things like that, yes, are annoying, but for banking, I can understand. But for social media, if Discord, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, if any of them asked me to upload a picture of or my state issue ID, you would not be seeing me stream right now. I would not do it. I would outright refuse.
That's not acceptable. Just like we were all taught growing up, never take candy from a stranger,
Stranger
don't talk
danger.
to strangers, say no to that kind of shit. You should also be taught to say no to this too. You should not be providing your ID willy-nilly online. That is not something that should just be loosey-goosey, no care in the world. Oh, here's all my personal identification. Here, yeah, take it. That way I can access fucking Wikipedia. By the way, Wikipedia is actually affected by this.
That's
ridiculous. Now, in some cases, it's not providing an ID. It's instead providing your face. It will scan your face. So
that's what I had to do for PayPal.
You're giving them your biometric data in that case. Again, big time no. I shouldn't be the one to come in here and teach you why privacy is important, but I hope somebody has. This is not a good thing.
Funny thing is, you can defeat the UK ID with a fake license photo off of Google. Yeah, I seen people were. I seen a video of people were duping it, or no, not duping it, faking it with a picture of Death Stranding, like using a photo from Death Stranding. People were able to bypass it. It was I forget where I saw that, but yeah, it's funny.
So in some of these processes, it's not always required to give your full ID and your like fucking, credit card statements or anything. Instead, some may ask to like scan your face and everything. Also still frowned upon. You
Yep.
still shouldn't do that
Nope.
either. This bill was paraded around like it was some righteous, legislation that was aimed at protecting kids from
And that's how they're able to do it. They're able to say, well, we got to protect the children. Don't you know? This is to save the children. When they just know that's how they sway the public to back them. That's how they sway the public to not fight against it or be against it because you don't want to be against the children. It's like the Patriot Act. Oh, well, you're a patriot, aren't you? You wouldn't want to vote against this because you're a patriot, right? You love your country, don't you? Scummy, deceptive garbage.
accessing harmful content online, specifically porn. I'm sure a lot of you, if you've got your thinking caps on, if you're activating neurons, can probably recognize a pattern since basically the beginning of time, the beginning of the internet here, where porn is always used as this ultimate boogeyman. It's the Galactus level threat that they always have to pass legislation to combat. And to people that don't want to do any thinking and would rather have all their thoughts put into their head by the government on what they should and should not support, it sounds like a nice notion. You don't want kids having access to harmful content like porn online.
And do you know whose responsibility it should be that the children don't access harmful things online? The parents. That's right. Personal accountability. Oh, I know. God forbid. Personal accountability exists in today's age. It's the government's fault little Timmy went and looked at a boobie online. God forbid the parents are in little Timmy's life to look at what he's doing online. It's the rest of the world's problem to solve.
That makes sense. But the second you make like George and get a bit curious and, God forbid, get into your ponder stance and start thinking and look into these type of pushes, you will recognize the goal is not to protect kids. It's not to protect anyone from anything. These are called Trojan horses,
Yep.
where they push these through under a false pretense like this with so many huge detrimental consequences attached to it that impede on your freedom. They use this idea of protecting kids from harmful content as a way of getting this bill across the line that has really bad stuff in it.
What is it? The Benjamin Franklin quote: those that give up liberty for temporary safety deserve neither. Paraphrasing the quote, but something along those lines.
There is nothing good about handing over your freedoms. And it's even more sad how few people even recognize it happening in front of their face. And even beyond that, even more pathetic is the people that are happy about it, that don't mind giving away all of their personal information. This act.
I remember having a disagreement in World of Warcraft with someone about online censorship and government control. And I remember them telling me, and it blew my mind at the time, they pretty much told me that it's good that government censors things and it's good that the government keeps things away from people because it's probably for the betterment of people. And that blew my mind because I was like, how can you trust the government and how can you expect the government to act in your best interests when it's been proven time and time again that the government does not do that? You shouldn't allow anyone to control what you can and cannot see. Again, assuming it's not illegal. If it's illegal, fine, take it down. It should be up to you. You're an adult. You're of sound mind. You should be able to decide what you want and don't want to see.
Was not about protecting children from accessing porn. It did not just require ID to be provided for porn sites. It was required for anything that they deemed maybe potentially opening up children to harmful content. That includes Discord features, it includes some forums, it includes Twitter, it includes Reddit.
Yeah, it starts off with, well, we don't want them to see objectionable material. We don't want them to see, we'll go with corn to avoid censorship, YouTube censorship. We don't want them to see things like that. Also, what turns out, here's this certain political topic that we don't want them to discuss. Oh my goodness, there's someone who disagrees with the mainstream narrative. So we got to hide that because that's harmful content. A good example would be the whole, not to get political, but the whole Jeffrey Epstein list, that whole fiasco. Oh, people are talking about it and they want the list released. Well, we don't want, the government doesn't want people talking about that. So that's now harmful content. You don't want to look at that. It's to stifle voices and to promote censorship in the guise of protecting children.
Anything that could even be moderately argued opens them up to like adult content or harmful subjects is hit by this, requiring them to have age verification in place where you will need to provide an ID to prove you are 18 years or older in order to grant access to that. You know the whole meme of like, oi, you got a license to be breathing that air?
Oi, bruv, you got a license?
Where it's all about like how over the top the UK is with this kind of bullshit. Well, now it has become beyond parody, where you actually need a fucking license to send Discord shit. You need a license for Wikipedia articles.
Oi, bruv, you got a license for that meme? I didn't think so.
Basically, Wikipedia is being hit by this, by the way. And they're trying to plead their case here about how detrimental this is, trying to bring some kind of sanity and reason back to the UK here in some capacity. I know this word gets tossed around a lot by a bunch of Redditors when tipping their fedora at anything they don't like, but
you should tip your top hat, not a fedora. Look at this top hat. Tip the top hat, not the fedora.
But this actually is dystopian. This is preposterous. This was never designed to protect kids from accessing harmful things like porn. It was designed for control and surveillance of their citizens.
100% true.
And it's being proposed in the US as well. If you thought this was an exclusive thought process,
they try this every, I want to say like 5 to 10 years. What was the other one? The Child Safety Act or something like that. They tried to push that, I want to say it was like 2016, 2018 era, and it failed. But every few years they always try it, and I'm pretty sure he's about to bring it up, that they're going to try it again. And hopefully it gets shot down. It got shot down last time, but that doesn't mean it will be this time. So hopefully that ends up being the case.
Just for the UK, you're very wrong. America would love to get their fingers in our buttholes as well, and we now have the Kids Online Safety Act that has been reintroduced in late May.
Oh, reintroduced. Okay, so that was the other one. So it was called the Kids Online Safety Act. I thought it was called the Child Online Safety Act. So I was close.
That aims to do something very similar here. It's a very common tactic where these proposed legislations will have things like, we have to protect the children. You know, another classic meme, think of the children.
Yep.
Well, it's a meme for a reason because it's
the Simpsons meme. Won't somebody think of the children?
It is the go-to strategy for a lot of politicians because it's very easy to drum up support under this false pretense. It is not about protecting kids. This isn't actually trying to stop kids from accessing porn. It is a convenient way for them to control your information and spy on you freely, openly, and easily.
And not only that, but collect your information to then sell it. I am on the firm stance that any corporation that asks for my data and then wants to sell my data, they should owe me a cut of that profit. They're selling my data. They're selling my email. They're selling my phone number. They're selling, hell, if I'm face scanning something, they're selling my face, and they're all profiting off of that. Why the hell should they make the money off of my data, my face, all of my stuff? That should be going to me outright. If they want to sell it, the money should be given to me. There should be laws for that, but the government is useless.
It is all about surveillance, control, and censorship. And all I can do is sit here and cross my fingers and toes while kissing a rabbit's foot that we are lucky enough that this will be shot down as it has in the past in this.
Another side tangent because I just thought about it. Nothing. That's why I don't like signing up for things, because nothing is free. Oh, put in your email to get a free 1 month trial. Well, you're not getting a free 1 month trial. They're going to sell your email to third party people and make a ton of money off of that. And sure, they'll let you have their free month trial, but it still cost you something. It cost you your email.
Country, but it's not guaranteed. Obviously, most people don't want kids accessing porn. And in an age where information can spread so quickly, so wrongly,
No child should be on the internet. The internet should be 18 plus. We do not need to change the entire landscape of the internet because old Susan is on her third bottle of wine and little Timmy is online unrestricted and visiting sites that he shouldn't be. We shouldn't change the entire landscape because people don't know how to be parents.
there's a lot of people that might hear the tiddlywinks about this bill, think it's doing something that it's not, and support it. It's very possible. There has never been an easier time to get some really damaging freedom overturning bills passed than right now, because you control so much information so easily, and most people don't bother to spend even a fucking iota of a second researching any of the topics.
Third option, parents learn to use router settings. Yeah, that works too. Or if not that, there can be a children version of things that they can access, like YouTube Kids or other apps that can be specifically made for kids. And all like messaging and all that should be turned off. And all they should be able to do is just like watch a video, play the video, pause the video, rewind the video, and that's it. No contact, no messaging, no DMing, none of that. And again, that should be up to the parents to watch.
It's just a really concerning mix of ingredients here for like the possible perfect storm of no longer having an internet that you can access without providing identification. For some reason, it's become highly accepted and normalized that the internet is expected to cater to children being on it completely unsupervised. And while that does happen, that is the fault of the parent, and the blame lies
I'm going to let them finish.
solely on the parent
1000% true. That hit the nail on the head. Perfect.
refusing to do their job in raising their own fucking kids. It is not the
Exactly.
internet's responsibility to do that for them. Now, I know it's been very common for parents to just sit their kids in front of an iPad creating
I know someone, I'm not going to say who, but I know someone that raised their children as iPad kids and literally went, oh, well, I got home from work. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with my kids. So I'll just put them in their room and give them an iPad and I'm going to go to sleep for a few hours. And these were little kids. People do not know how to parent nowadays. And it is not the world's responsibility for you being an awful parent.
these iPad kids, setting them up for failure, really, by refusing to actively be a part of their life and raise them. But that doesn't mean that the internet needs to step in and change to do it for them.
Exactly.
There needs to be the onus placed back on the household. The parents should be once again in charge of raising their kids. That's how it used to be, and that's how you had normal people develop. Not like this. Not under the thumb of the government sticking its nose in your business. It is terrifying. Why have we just gotten to the point where we excuse bad parenting and instead force the internet to be the ones to be the parental figure?
Because no one can take personal accountability for anything anymore. Oh, it's the internet's fault that my child accessed a website that he shouldn't have. Oh, it's McDonald's fault I'm fat. Oh, it's this video game's fault that I spent $10,000 on gacha rolls. It can't be my fault. I didn't do anything bad. I was taken advantage of. Personal accountability is a thing of the past. You got to find who to blame and what to blame before you take responsibility for your own actions.
Where everything is like babied to ensure a kid doesn't accidentally access fucking Wikipedia or something. It's completely preposterous. And on top of that, it's downright dangerous for everybody. You shouldn't be providing your identification and all of this data like this. It's just not good. And I really hope we don't see it come to America. I wanted to put all of this on your plate here, put it on your radar, because
Thanks,
this
Charlie.
is not something good. Don't let the propaganda fool you. It is not aiming to actually protect anybody or anything. It is solely for control and surveillance,
Power and control. Every single time. Power and control.
trying to get more data from you to monitor your activities and ensure you are the drone they want you to be. This is not a good thing. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's it. See ya.
That was a good video. 100% right. He's way more eloquent than I am, but I agree. Let's drop this bad boy a like.